causes. We're going. This could mean so much to this dude. It can make him afraid of his music and be scared to death he can lose it.
Salut, c'est Mathieu en compagnie de Josh, Tyler, 21 Pilot. Yeah, and in the past, you've done some songs where we can sense there's a kind of nostalgia of that time when you were young and you don't have all the adult life and all the adult things that you have to deal with nowadays. So is that feeling, does it get harder when you go in Columbus? Does it remind you of that time when everything was much more simpler?
Well, I was poor then, so that's figured out.
That's better now.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Tyler, it's a pleasure to meet you. We have something different for you today.
Okay.
So you're ready? I want to introduce you to my friend Marie-Christine Champagne. She's going to be the bad guy today.
Hello.
We're going to show you two pictures. We want to know which of those two buildings is the emblem of Quebec City.
It's a trick question. Neither of them are.
No, it's not a bad question. So, Marie-Christine, you have to be the bad guy right now.
Okay. You have to sing a cappella Mariah Carey, biggest hits.
Oh, right. Okay.
All I Want for Christmas.
Something, 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 something. I don't know the words.
Mistletoe.
There it is. See, I got the melody. He's got the lyrics. That's why we're making a good team.
Last time you were here in Quebec, you met with Patrick Langlois, our friend from iHeartRadio.
Okay.
And he had you practice a sentence in French for this specific venue. You remember?
That's right. Yes. I remember that. It was difficult.
Festival d'été de Québec.
I didn't get it again.
The
Did you get it?
festival. It's a festival.
Festival
Festival d'été de
d'été
Québec. You guys are playing there on July 7th.
Festival
It's like 2 hours
d'été
east.
de Quebec.
Yeah, you got a few weeks to
D'été
learn that.
de Quebec.
That's,
D'été.
yeah. Festival d'été Quebec.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Is that right?
It's pretty good. Or you say the FEC.
The feck?
Yeah,
What's that?
it's FEQ. So basically, Festival Été Québec. So we call it FEC. You're going to see those big three
Oh.
letters. Like that.
Got it. I thought that was just a Canadian curse word.
Excellent. Let's talk about this tour, Bendito Tour. It's been a huge success all around the world. Everywhere you went, people singing your songs. But those are pretty personal songs and pretty personal feelings that you express. How does it feel having those songs sung by 25, 30,000 people, singing back those lyrics that you wrote by yourself?
It gets old. Obviously, you want me to say that it's amazing, right?
No, I just want to know how it feels because it's really, 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 really personal. And then you get...
It goes without saying. It's an amazing feeling to create a song in, the basement of your house, and then to see that many people singing it is it can change you. It has the power to actually change you, whether maybe it's the people that are there in the audience or it's us on stage. And I know that Josh and I can both speak to the fact that we've changed because of, hopefully for the better, but because of watching and hearing our crowd sing our songs back to us.
That's a great answer.
But other than that, it's a pretty standard operation.
Anything you want to add to it, Josh?
I think he covered it. It's pretty standard. It's pretty normal situation for us. I think it's. I can't add anything that's more meaningful than what he said. It's special though.
And as a drummer, I only imagine that it's a really fun song to play live.
Yeah, it's very fun. I mean, it's a song that I think we can both, because it's a harder song, we can both kind of like play a little bit harder and I grew up just wanting to hit my drums as hard as I could, so that's definitely one that allows for that. And at the start of a show as well, I think it's always fun for us to kind of take the stage and, like Tyler said, trying to get people's attention. And when you can do that in a way where you're really getting into it, then it's a good feeling for both of us. So yeah, it's a really fun song to play.
listening to every song that you made since you started, it's really hard to pinpoint the influences of 21 Pilots because it's all over the place. You're doing pretty much every style, which leaves us wondering, what did you guys listen to when you were growing up? What was, the artist that maybe you bonded over, or some things that you listened to while you were growing up?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Played out in the woods, heard some chipmunking, laid by a babbling brook, and then woke up one day and was like, I'm going to write songs. I don't know. It's hard to answer that question. I don't know exactly if we can pin everything onto one artist. Josh and I didn't have a particular artist that we bonded over. I know that there are a lot of bands that have that story of, we went to this show together, or we listened to this band together, or this artist, and we really bonded over our love of vinyl. And I don't know, it didn't happen that way for us. We started making each other laugh. That's it. And then from there, do you want to make music? I guess. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I really appreciate the fact that when you don't really like a question, and we can tell that you don't like the question.
What?
You explain it to me, and I really appreciate that.
Well, it's just it obviously it's a question that we get a lot, and it's really it's difficult to pin it down. I mean, we could talk for hours. I personally, I think Josh as well, we're influenced by songs. I don't know if there's an artist that we ate up everything they did. I don't think that there's an artist in the history of music that has released everything that they've released I've agreed with or loved or connected with. And I think that speaks to the climate now more than ever, that you can be influenced by specific songs, maybe a specific verse or a specific sound or a specific lyric. And that's why it's so hard to answer the question, because there isn't an artist. I can't just name an artist or a band and say I want them to represent us in explaining how we came about making music the way we did. It's so specific moments, certain kick drum sounds, like I said, a certain lyric. I mean, I could go down the line, a certain music video, and so because of that, it's just really hard to come up with maybe 2 or 3 artists to just kind of shotgun against the camera. So
let me be honest, I wasn't glad I asked the question when you answered the first time, but
I think
it's a really good answer.
Question, and it's something that I like to explain, but it's taking time to try to put it into words why it's hard to answer that question. But that's why it's hard to answer it.
I would also add, I think the older we get, and we've had this conversation a couple times, but we're influenced by our dads, and like the reason that we are the way that we are, or influenced by movies or maybe actors. There's for me, like a drumming element, but then there's also a performing element that maybe doesn't even come from musicians necessarily, but a feeling that I had when I first played the drums. So there's a lot that goes into it that's not necessarily like we saw this one artist and they changed our lives and then that's why we do what we do. I think it is a very hard question to answer, and I think there's a lot even external to music that goes into why we're here now and why we got into music in the first place.
Well, for an answer that you've heard a million times before, it was a pretty thoughtful answer.
I don't think we've ever answered it like that before.
We've got a world first.
There you go.
Here in Quebec City.
But Sting.
But Sting.
Yeah. But the police.
There you go. Josh, Tyler, thank you very much for your time. Have a great show tonight. Enjoy your time in Quebec City, and thank you for all the music that you offered us. It's really appreciated. We really like it on Weekend 91.9. So.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
For sure.